What's going on YouTube? One Early X-Ram here. Coming to you today with a little idea for another vlog I had. I did this video on my $11.99 and I'm going to do it for this. Basically, is the Hellcat Challenger a daily driver? Can you use it as a daily driver? And what are the benefits and the drawbacks of doing so, using it, using it as a daily driver? And the really short and easy answer to whether or not this car can be used as a daily driver is yes. It most certainly can be, and I know this for a fact because I do it every day. I use this car as my daily, and I commute back and forth to work with it every day. It is, a really comfortable car. It is very smooth riding for the type of vehicle that it is, and it's spacious enough to where you can put in here what you need to put in here, like going to and from work, the gym, school, what have you, as I do. Like I said, I use this car to go to school and park it in there, parking garages and all that stuff. So this vehicle does get used a lot and in all aspects. There are some drawbacks of it, obviously. This is a relatively expensive car, so the daily grind of driving it everywhere, the road grit, the stone chips, weather, stuff like that does affect the car. However, I take care of it very well. I do have it coated. I know people have mentioned when I put up on Facebook, you should wrap it, this and that. And it's just a preference. I didn't want to wrap it. But be that as it may. The other downside, obviously, is gas mileage. You have a 700 horsepower vehicle. It's a V8. It sucks down some gas. It really does. I think my normal day-to-day, because I do go through a lot of stop and go, as you can see, my day-to-day is, my average is usually around 15, 16 miles per gallon. My best I've ever done is probably about 17, like stop and go. On the highway, I've gotten 22. So you can get decent gas mileage out of this vehicle. The other downside, obviously, is it is a 6-speed. I personally prefer manuals over automatics. I just feel like they're so boring. You don't do anything. They're less interactive when it comes to daily driving like this. And you're like, well, why not have, doesn't it beat using the clutch and stop and go? To me personally, no. If you find the friction zone in this car, it has so much power, and stop and go, all you gotta do is engage it a little bit. You start rolling this gate, push the clutch in, pull it out, let it out, and you can manage going through traffic very easily. Again, the downside to the clutch is it is a rather heavy clutch, actually, and if you work out and do legs, you have a tendency to shake. You have a tendency to accidentally let it out too quickly and dump it and basically do a burnout by accident. Done that a few times, seriously, by accident, no joke. So there are little downsides. What the fuck are you doing? Wow. The person in the van just cut across 3 lanes of traffic to make a right-hand turn. Anywho, wish I had my camera facing out. That would show what I just saw. But anyways, so there's a downside to that. And like I said, the gas mileage isn't great, but it's not it could be far worse than what it is. These fucking kids, are you kidding me? Jesus Christ. The gas mileage could be far worse than what it is. And that's a testament to how the power is delivered. And it's very smooth, but like I said, if you have a heavy foot or people annoy you, you end up stepping on it and going faster. The other advantage of having a vehicle, I'm not even going to talk about just this car, just a vehicle that's performance driven, that has very good brakes, has very good power. The plus side of that is you can get in and out of situations so much easier than cars that can't get out of their own way. And to me, I think that's a safety thing. I personally like being able to get in front of anyone and everyone, because I personally just don't like being around other drivers. They all usually suck for the most part. And the benefit of having amazing brakes is exactly that. People are stupid, and this car has such great brakes on it that at slow speed or 40, 45 miles an hour, the brakes are just insane. They're way too much for what you honestly need here, but they're so good that you get yourself out of a lot of jams by using how great these brakes are. Same thing with the power. The only downside every once in a while of the power is if I shift into second gear and I really get on it, I'm spinning. So the control is a little sketchy sometimes. But knowing how to control that, it's a whole nother story. But like I said, the biggest thing with this car is it's all around a very good car. Performance, braking, the interior being comfortable, everything, the creature comforts and everything just wrapped around so good, such a good package that it makes this a really good daily driver. Obviously can't haul a whole ton of things. The trunk is massive. You can fit like 2 people back there. It's a giant trunk. So it's not like you have this 4x4 inch space that you try to put groceries or something into. There's a good amount of space. But yeah, aside from the daily rigors of driving and stone chips and people being stupid and rear-ending you, that comes with the territory of driving. There really aren't too many negative things to say about this car, especially as a daily driver, and it stands out so much. People will go out of their way to say something to you about it, and it's pretty special when you think about that, especially if it's something you drive every day. It's kind of cool. But that's my little spiel on this being a daily driver. I do it. I love it. I couldn't see any other thing I like to do with this and the other drive. I mean, I take it to the track and everything else, so she handles it all. Also, something really cool about this car that I like a lot, and my 392 didn't have it, and the Corvettes I've driven didn't really have it, is the first gear is very long, very tall. You can rev it out to 45 in first gear and be completely fine. So in stop and go traffic, first gear being that manageable really helps the whole aspect of commuting through a city. Unlike, like I said, other cars that have a very short first gear, you have to constantly shift. This car, you can rev it out a little bit farther, and it handles it beautifully. So that little tidbit, along with everything else, makes it a great car. With that, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next vlog.